time, there lived a king and a queen who longed to have a child. After many years, their wishes came true, and the queen gave birth to a beautiful baby girl. The king was beside himself with joy, and he planned a splendid feast in honor of the newborn daughter. He invited all of his relatives and all the great lords and ladies of the kingdom. The king also invited the magic fairies who lived in the kingdom. He hoped they would give his child their blessing. Now, there were 13 fairies in the kingdom, but only 12 received invitations to the feast. Somehow, the king forgot to send an invitation to the 13th.
Where's my invitation?
The 12 fairies came to the great celebration.
Hi, how are you?
And each presented her magical gifts to the king's daughter.
I'm fine.
The first fairy gave the child beauty.
Thank you.
The second child, a kind heart.
Thank you.
The third child, a quick wit.
Thank you.
The fourth, a charm.
Thank you.
And on it went, until the king's daughter had received every delighted talent and trait. But after the 11th fairy had given her gift, the 13th fairy stormed into the hall. He was furious that he had not been invited to the feast. Without a word greeting, he turned to the king and shouted in a harsh voice,
Mom, he's a fairy, a bad one.
I too have come in the gift of a princess. I too have come to give the princess a gift.
Yes.
On her 15th birthday, your daughter will prick herself on a spindle and fall dead.
How dare you?
And at that 13th fairy turned and strode out of the palace. The queen, she never been seen again. The queen began to cry, and the king turned pale. What? But then the 12th fairy stepped forward. I've not given the princess my gift yet. The 12th fairy said, and while I cannot undo the curse, I can soften it. Your daughter will not die when she pricks her finger. Instead, she will fall into a deep sleep that will last her for 100 years. The king, who wished to save his beloved daughter from this fate, immediately ordered all the spinning wheels and spindles in the kingdom to be burned at once.
How dare you? I don't want that.
Years passed and the little princess grew. As the fairies had promised, she was beautiful and kind and clever. And each year she grew more charming and loving. Everyone who knew her loved her, and she passed her days happily in the kingdom. On the day of the princess's 15th birthday, her parents' presents were rescued by a neighboring king. So they left the princess behind in the castle. Now, you must behave yourself while we are gone.
Okay, Mother.
Her mother told her. Of course, the princess promised. But the princess had never been without her parents before she was delighted. And before she was delighted, I will be able to wander about the castle as I please. She thought and looked at everything.
Intermission now.